Welcome back to my channel. I am Earth Angel, and this is a supercharged, channeled message. I have some notes from a reading that I did yesterday as just a collective check-in of the eclipse energy that we are moving through. So this eclipse is staying with us for approximately 10 days. And it's all about out with the bad, in with the new. It's also about recognizing faulty connections and the consequences of staying stuck in illusion, maybe because of ego, maybe because of pride for too long. And the overall energy that I'm getting is we must destroy in order to rebuild. Shout out to Lauryn Hill for her song Rebel. It's a very powerful song, and I think it definitely matches this energy. Why don't you rebel, right? Basically saying if we're sleeping on ourselves, we're not recognizing the dissonance, the disruption, the delay. And what is beautiful about this is that this eclipse energy is pushing us to let it all go. So I just want to go through some of the things that came up in my reading yesterday. I just did it off camera, just to check in to see if I'm really, aligned with what's going on. And I'm just going to list out some things. It's a lot. A lot came out. I did also pre-shuffle and lay out some cards, and I will jump into that. I'll also pull additional cards to elaborate and confirm this current energy. So here we go. All right, so there is a masculine energy who is feeling very stuck right now. They are at a crossroads. Again, just take what applies, let the rest fly if it doesn't align with what is going on in your world, in your situation. Masculine energy does not necessarily mean gender. So you can be a woman with masculine energy. You can be a male with feminine energy. So overall, masculine energy, feeling stuck at a crossroads, a decision between religion, tradition, institutional mindset versus spirituality, intuition, and 5D knowing. There is an emphasis on outdated ideas. Along with that was the King of Swords as well as the Queen of Swords. However, they were in separation. So there is a sense of betrayal, cold and harsh communication, family and community, social group going against someone's evolution. So someone is trying to evolve, and their typical setting is not happy with it, maybe because there's some benefit to them being immature or stagnated. But again, this outdated mindset has to go. And what is happening currently in the energy is whomever has been blind or asleep to their own power, to their own elevation and ascendance, is now starting to wake up. And this wake up is very uncomfortable. Let's just put it that way. So there is a bit of self-isolating to gather thoughts. Here's where it gets a little sticky. So somebody has been community D, community P, and what I'm hearing is the milk's gone bad. So whether this is somebody who is overindulging and partying and play and just not taking things serious, or they're so prideful and insecure that the attention that they get from outside of themselves is no longer sufficient, that's showing up here as well. There is a bit of selfishness and ego-driven behavior, again, overindulging, recognizing that this is all fruitless, and someone may be acting a little, or is a little too materialistic. So rather than taking time to meditate, cleanse their energy, detox from the negativity. They're just going out and thrill seeking. And what's coming back to them is that they're still feeling empty. Okay. There is a feminine energy. This is a little more specific. And the reason why I got this is because on the cards in my black tarot deck, the Hierophant is a woman standing in front of a church. And what I got from that, just based on the other cards around it, is this female energy pretends to be God-fearing, right? Bible thumping, very, strict when it comes to that's the devil and we don't do that. And in the name of Jesus, and I'm not making fun of Christians at all, but there is a feminine energy who hides behind this mask of religious uprightness. But really in the background, or to the people who experience this person in private, they are very two-faced. They are very confrontational. They like to control everything else around them rather than learning how to control themselves. And there seems to be a heavy burden of the spirit of fear and jealousy within them. Okay. There's also a departure from what's familiar in order to grow. And this is a sense of immaturity to maturity. So wherever you are in your life, whatever age you are, whether this applies to you or someone you know, there is a need, an urgent need to grow up, right? Someone has had the same mentality since the first wounding, whether that was in childhood or in teenage years. They have held on to that wound. It has not healed. It's only gotten deeper. It has festered. And the Most High is pushing this person to take accountability and put on their big girl, big boy pants. Okay. There may be some money issues around a complex situation that needs to be released. I'm hearing bad money deals or investments that did not bear fruit. Someone may be holding finances hostage or holding you hostage due to finances. So say, for example, this is a breakup of some sort. Someone is not going to let you go easily, and they are determined to strip you bare and essentially put you in the poorhouse, just for going against what they want you to do or thwarting their plans. So somebody celebrated a little too early. Again, in this energy, I saw the presence of a professional victim. So someone who is constantly shifting blame to avoid accountability. Now they know they're wrong. They know they're lying. They know they're a Judas. However, they won't let you know that, right? And you may be pointing out facts. You may have receipts, but they are fighting tooth and nail not to show their true colors or have their true colors shown. And again, I'm hearing this whistleblower sort of vibe. So someone is calling it out, right? What's the saying? Tell the truth and shame the devil. Somebody is in very devilish energy. I mean, they are out for blood. They want to win at all costs. They don't even care if they're forcing something that doesn't fit. They are just so broken spiritually or misaligned or in delusion that the fact that you are trying to enforce a particular reality check on this person is just driving them deeper and deeper into their devilish energy. I also heard the call is coming from inside the house. Someone's home is a revolving door for demonic spirits, and someone needs to adjust, cleanse, detox, and reinforce boundaries. Okay. Back to the Hierophant and this distorted feminine energy when it comes to being very controlling, very victim blaming, victim shaming. This person may be very flashy with their clothes and the accessories. However, they are very superficial, And so what they think is not being shown is that they're very empty on the inside. Okay. And someone or a group of people is finally starting to recognize this. This person has been getting away with this for years. Somebody has probably been tied to this energy for years. And, maybe they have some sort of agreement, some sort of contract. It doesn't necessarily have to be marriage, but it could be. It could be a mother figure. It could be a sister. It could be just a person that feels that you are obligated to them. This person is on the verge, if it hasn't already started, on the verge of being essentially dismantled. I'm sensing that this person has put a lot of negative energy out. And again, this winning at all costs is coming up. And because of this, there is a person or a situation that is exhausting, or they're exhausted. And there is a breakdown for a reset. And this reset has required some form of self-isolation. I'd also like to say, in the vein of divorce, again, this doesn't necessarily have to be a marriage, because friendships that fall apart can also feel like divorce. So you may be recognizing, or someone may be recognizing, they have false friends, or they have a very fake social group. And when I say that, these people may, be very friendly when the drinks are being poured, when the money is circulating. However, they're laughing behind your back, right? These people or persons are trying so hard to keep an illusion up, but it's actually creating turbulence in their own lives. And this may be coming up, this may have already started, but there is a collective downfall that is in progress. So there may be years and years of the same cycle. Again, maybe these people have gotten into this person's head since inception. And this person is finally realizing, like, wait a minute, I actually have not grown, or the seeds that I've planted have not borne fruit or bared fruit, whichever way you say that, because I'm associated with these people or this community or this family. One of the things that also popped up was the, survivor's guilt, right? So whether you came from a community that, you may have been born in the hood, or you grew up in the hood, or with a hood mentality. I'm just using that as an example. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. Or this could be talking about generational wounds, right? So from great grandma, grandpa, all the way down to the great grandchildren, there has been a particular wound that has been recycled through different generations, and that is starting to break, or someone is finally stepping away in order to break the cycle. Give me a second. I just want to make sure I'm not repeating things here. Yep, time to move forward. There is someone, so whether this is a person who, as I said, is breaking away from a community, breaking away from a certain connection, whether it's romantic or non-romantic, whoever they are breaking away from wishes them harm. Or if they cannot harm the person that is breaking away, they want to harm whatever they're looking forward to. Whether that's a promotion, whether that's a new relationship, whether it's just their freedom in general, financial or spiritual, there is an op who is dead set on dismantling whatever hope that you have. Okay. There is stagnation because they aren't getting what they want. Yes, spoiled milk. Okay, so holding on to something for so long, and by the time you take a good look at it, you realize that it's totally spoiled. Like, just 2 thumbs down. I wish I had another set of hands so I could give it 4 thumbs down. That's how bad it is. And someone has celebrated too early. Okay, so again, going back to this group or environment where people are kind of just basking in someone's downfall or looking forward to basking in somebody's downfall. That's not happening. Okay. And so they celebrated too early. And what is happening is all of that negativity has been sent right back to them. They may be messing with somebody because, again, of that traditional institutional mindset. They don't believe in the woo-woo. They don't believe in energy. They don't believe in the unseen. They don't believe in 5D knowing. And so they have projected a lot of falsehood onto a particular person, or at least on their conscious level. And all of that has just deflected right back to them. And so they may be receiving the consequences of that. Now, I don't like the idea of people doing spells and consulting, quote unquote, witches and wizards or warlocks to get things done. But I am sensing someone, again, who is two-faced. So they may come off like they're very religious, but they would pay someone to do the dirty work for them so that they can keep their hands clean. That is coming out, okay? All spotlights, all truths will be revealed. Nothing is going to be kept in the dark any longer. And the Most High is cleaning house, okay? In someone's situation, someone tried to replace a true love out of spite. So an example of this may be, say someone has agreed to a poly situation. And that's because, they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and so are you, or whoever you can think of that this relates to. And in the beginning, that person agreed to a poly situation. Say, like, I don't mind if you, and this could be long distance as well. Because we don't live in the same state, because we don't live in the same city. Ooh, y'all heard my belly? Oh, I need to eat something soon. Okay, but so let me just move through this. So because of this distance, quote unquote, they have agreed to a sort of, no strings attached situation until one of those parties actually starts to fall in love with somebody else. And so what's being revealed here is that the initial contract was a trap. Okay? It's like, it's okay if you come in and out of my life as long as you keep coming in and out of my life. Like, as long as I have you on reserve, everything is cool. But the moment that you try to depart, the moment that you try to separate, all hell will break loose. Okay? And this person, whomever they are, male or female, has worked very hard, or is currently working very hard, to throw every single wrench they can in the possibility of you actually, let's say, if we're still talking about a poly situation, owning and stepping into monogamy, like a real commitment, a real love story. They are jealous. They are insecure. They're asking themselves, what makes this person so special that now you're treating me different? Why you being weird to me after you had me in all these different positions and chopping wood and doing all nasty kind of stuff, and you're basically telling me that wasn't enough. I don't want to get too graphic, but this may have been one of those real relationships where there really were no boundaries. Like, nothing was off the table, and someone is realizing, whether it's a wake-up call or just a spiritual nudge, that this is not where it's at. This is not where I need to be. This is fun and everything, but I can't take this person serious. And there may have already been a pattern of betrayals in the midst of that. Again, if we're talking about a poly relationship or a love triangle, there may have been a series of betrayals. So there's already some built up resentment, and now that's starting to explode. Oh my goodness. I hope y'all can't hear my belly rumbling. Okay. So, now, whoever this person who is feeling scorned is dangerous. Like, they are not well mentally, spiritually. They are not well. They don't know how to handle facts, right? This is a person who feels their feelings are facts, and they're just not. And so the real world showing up in this way for them is extremely upsetting, and they are refusing to accept it. And so what they expected, and this again could be a friendship or a romantic situation, but again, this is a break, this is a breakaway, this is a attempt to escape, and somebody is not having it, or it could be an entire group. Okay. Last few things. So someone's karma is being breadcrumbed in return. So say, for example, if this is you, you decided to step away from a situation because you felt like you were getting the short end of the stick, or you just got tired of somebody playing in your face, and maybe you allowed them for a little while because you're like, okay, well, I see this person isn't quite there yet, and I'm willing to have patience to help them grow, or just be there as a listening ear or a supporter, or just to be empathetic to where they need to be, or where I can sense that they're trying to be, but they just don't have the tools yet. But this person has breadcrumbed so much that someone has departed, and their karma for breadcrumbing you, if this is you, is to be breadcrumbed in return by the people, places, and things that they chose. Okay. And this is coming crashing down. Definitely. The tower is not out in the spread, but it's a tower. Okay. Overall, someone's whole situation, what they thought it was, it just isn't. And it's all coming down, and it's all coming to light. And then the last thing that came up is being talked into walking into a trap, which I think pretty much encapsulates everything that I said previously. Okay, so now let's jump into the reading. In the present energy, I have the High Priestess, the Sun, and that is joined or bridged by the Daughter of Swords or Knives. Okay. The Daughter of Knives here is a page. And when the Son of Knives pops up, it's a knight. So, and actually, let me just double check here to make sure that this is not, and again, this is the Black Tarot. I love this deck. I've had it for years. If you can't tell, my cards are a little beaten up because I take them with me sometimes when I travel. Just to do a spiritual check-in of my own. And I got to tell you, sometimes I have to put them away for a little bit because the energy can really come in very harshly. And if I'm not, truly focused and set in my energy, it will sometimes upset me. I'm not even going to lie. Because you're going to see things that you don't necessarily want to see. And that's just the way of the tarot. You can't project. It takes spiritual strength and alignment to take yourself out and to just read. Okay. And so, it took me time to develop that. I was born a seer, but I learned how to read tarot, if that makes any sense, and hope somebody can understand where I'm coming from with that. Anyway, let's go back to the present energy. So the Priestess with the Sun, this is aligning again with the reading from yesterday, where I was talking about this decision between, or crossroads between, an institutional, more rigid religious mindset versus a spiritual, intuitive 5D knowing. What I see here with the Sun and the High Priestess, somebody knows who their person is. Okay. Someone knows exactly what they want. This may come after some confusion, but this could, say, for example, give me the sense of a player finally putting down his raggedy ass pimp cape. Okay. I'm not a psychology major nor a professional, but there are some resources around what, let's say, autism or ADHD in adults looks like. And the reason why I bring that up is because I'm getting the sense with this Daughter of Knives, or this Page of Swords, is that someone's hypersexuality led them down a bad road, right? So instead of doing the work and healing themselves, they chose, and instead of choosing stability and groundedness, they chose, the quick, fast, and easy. So somebody likes to play around with the. I heard this reader call it this, and I thought it was just so funny. Sewer witches or sewer maidens. I'm sorry. I think that's so funny. But if this is a male who is, some wannabe type pimp or whatever because they're wounded and, some girl stole my crayons when I was younger, or my mother never hugged me when I was sad. And I'm not making fun of that because that's a real wound. A mother wound is very deep, and it's probably the most devastating. Whatever the case may be, they may have had a series of bad breakups, like when they thought it was love, it ended up being something else, and then they just decided to close their heart off and move with their wand instead. So this person, because of that lack of evolution, has basically burnt themselves out. And I hope they're not actually burning, if you know what I mean. But the Daughter of Knives talks about a bit of recognizing where basically you played yourself. When I see it in this form with the Sun, the High Priestess, and the Daughter of Knives, someone played themselves out of a true love situation, or at least what they actually want versus what they present that they desire, right? So this is passion versus destiny. Especially with the Sun here, there's a table with a bunch of seats around it. There are clouds, someone, it feels like they're up in the clouds or dreamy when they envision this coming true. And there may have been quite a few intuitive nudges along the way, but because of pride and ego, they just dismissed everything and possibly lost out on an opportunity. And it doesn't have to be love. It could very much just be stability in general, like having a happy home, whether you live by yourself or not. This person has fumbled, okay? And it was enough of a fumble to make them have to sit down and reflect about the types of decisions that they're making in their life. And so someone is trying to take a good, hard look at who they are and what they really want, or they're finally sitting down and having the quiet moments to, articulate that. This person may have been lying to themselves for a very long time. Okay. I'm not necessarily seeing this as, the High Priestess is a literal person. I'm seeing this more as alignment, being out of alignment with your true purpose, being out of alignment with what you really want out of life. Just playing yourself out. Now, in the energy that is being transitioned out of, I have the Three of Coins, Two of Wands, 10 of Baskets, Two of Cups. Okay, so here's the Three of Coins, Two of Wands. You see this man, he just laid down his tools and he's just contemplating, barefoot, hanging off of a cliff. This person is barely hanging on because they are not being real about who they truly are. You see, with this Three of Coins, this person has not truly owned change. They've run away from it. They've tried so hard to avoid the person in the mirror, whether it's man or woman, and they have not allowed themselves to truly develop. It stunted their growth, as a matter of fact. And so this person is contemplating, like, what am I doing? What the hell am I doing? Why did I do that? Right? Again, player got played, male or female. Whether they admit this to other people or not, they are in contemplation at this time. Again, possibly self-isolating due to the fact that they have wallowed in self-pity and insecurity and just overall spiritual bankruptcy. Somebody may have had to file for bankruptcy. Wow. Okay. I'm not going to dive into that, but with the Two of Cups and 10 of Cups here, or if you want to call them baskets, this person not just played themselves, but they possibly lost out on a solid situation. And this is the consequences that they're facing. It's, could have been, should have been. There may be some guilt around this, right? Someone's family may not agree with what their vision is, and they're finally coming to terms with they've been allowing other people to influence their modalities, let's just say, because they're not being honest. If they're not being honest with themselves, trust and believe they're not being honest with other people. And this is coming to the forefront. It's unavoidable at this point. Okay. And then in the future position, I have the Three of Baskets. Okay. There's that player just loving to play out there for the streets, street meat mentality. The Seven of Baskets in reverse. Okay, so coming out of confusion of that. Again, this is immaturity turning into maturity. Eight of Wands and Mother of Wands. Now, what I'm hearing about this is someone, and going back to the Two of Cups, Two of Cups, 10 of Cups. If we move from the present energy to the future, or what the transition is leading to, again, these old ways, these bad habits, just, being for the streets, all of this stuff is leaving someone depleted. Someone may get a lot of attention. I'm hearing here, like someone treats their work center, for example, like Tinder. They get a lot of flirtation and a lot of attention and, ogling eyes, but no matter how many people are in their face, there is only one that stands out. Okay. Now, in the channeled message that I got yesterday and from those notes that I read, this Mother of Wands, okay, you see how her dress is kind of falling off of her shoulders. She's hiding her face. This is a Okay, sorry about that. I ran out of space for a second. So this doesn't necessarily have to be a feminine fire energy, though it could. But what I'm overall seeing is someone who mistakes their passion or uses the excuse of being passionate as being very deviant. Okay, so this is somebody, if we go back to that poly situation, she's okay if you continue to come back to her, but the moment that you choose somebody else, this lady turns upside down, right? So it's definitely a mask, and I'm definitely hearing mask because you see how her face is hidden. So this person has been hiding their true colors, and it may have been the catalyst for change for someone to finally realize that this is not the type of person that they need to be aligned with, or the type of people that they need to be aligned with. Okay. Someone has forced their way in between a more stable commitment situation. Again, this could be work. If this isn't a work situation, this is like the work wife, quote unquote, who gets jealous of your actual spouse, right? This person may know about who you actually want to be with and try to distract you. That's what I'm getting from this. This person may be trying to get your attention, whether it's you or somebody else, whoever it may be. This person is an attention whore, quite literally. And they're loose in the caboose, quite literally. And so they think that because they dress a certain way, they carry themselves a certain way, maybe they have expensive things, whatever the case may be, this person is hollow on the inside. And someone may be coming to terms with that, because I see here movement, especially with the Seven of Baskets or Cups, however you want to see it as well. You see how all three of these give the sense of trying to elevate, I'm hearing like trying to get away from, somebody's trying to get away from this person. Maybe they can't right now. Maybe there's some type of complexity to it. Maybe they're associated with the same social group, especially with this Seven of Baskets in reverse, like a emphasis on the milk's gone bad. The milk is spoiled, okay? This person may have tried to get, knocked up to, wow, that's so deviant. Okay, so what I'm hearing is either in the past or currently, because this person is so used to playing victim and getting their way, being told no is such a no, like it's literally a no for them. Like, you don't tell me no. I'm the one that comes to you whenever I want. I come in and out. I get to do what I want. I don't even have to give you what I promised you. I just get to indulge and, exist and be, opulent, but don't ever ask me to show up for you, right? Someone is realizing they need to move the hell away from this. Okay. This could be a masculine as well. This could be a bisexual or DL man as well. Again, with the hiding of the face, this could definitely, feminine or masculine energy doesn't have anything to do with gender. This could very much be, let's say, like a really good friend, whatever their gender, who is in their feminine energy, no matter what your gender is. And they actually want you. They want you. And so they don't want you to be with anybody else, whether it's a friendship or not. They don't want to see you moving on without them, because they might be like low key, high key wanting you, quite literally. Someone fantasizes about this, unrealistic fairy tale that is not going to happen, because whomever this is being projected onto, they don't want that. And they're seeing this, that they need to move away from this person. And I got to say this, if you are at the crossroads of making a decision on which way to go, especially if it seems to be in opposite directions or okay, sorry about that. I keep running out of space, so I had to delete a bunch of old stuff on my iPad. Anyway, so what I was saying, if you are at the crossroads, if you are on the cusp of a major change, especially if you are listening to your calling and you are doing your best to align with what is true and authentic to you, that is when the devil gets the most busy. And quite frankly, if you're not being messed with by those negative energies that come with that kind of devilish energy, you're probably too comfortable. Okay. So 9 times out of 10, and I've learned this from experience as well, it's usually when you're on the cusp of greatness that the devil turns and pays attention to you. Okay. And so this person really doesn't want to see someone move into this. Okay. Hope you can see that there's a bit of a glare. Someone does not want to see someone happy, at least not without them. And as a matter of fact, they don't even care about their happiness. This is not about love. The only cards that are about love here I see are these cards. And this has nothing to do with whatever this Queen of Wands, Mother of Wands has going on. Okay. And that is probably what is pissing them off the most. So let me pull from my Eternal Tarot deck to clarify, and I'm not going to take too much longer because I don't want my camera to cut off again. And yeah, somebody does not want to see somebody grow up. Yep. All right, the 3 cards that came out are the Magician with the Unexpected with Deduction. Somebody's walking away. They're like, I'm going to take whatever I can salvage. If I can't take anything with me, so be it. And this may be a hard one because, again, I'm hearing like there's been time and resources invested. And, this energy here may be holding that hostage, or at least attempting to. But it's not going to work. Okay? It's just not going to work because this person's leaving anyway. They're leaving anyway. Good for them. Good for you. Whoever is moving through this. Ooh, I'm hearing Leo as well. Now, no shade to my Leos. Yeah, let me stay on track. This is a distorted magician in Leo energy, in fire energy. So they use their passion as a weapon. Okay. Now, typically, this is in the upright, but where I see it positioned right now, this is a user. This is a person who does not care what they destroy, interrupt. They don't care what you got going on. They want to win at all costs because they're so empty inside that seeing other people thrive and expand truly, truly disturbs their spirit. Okay. And so this is a person who is pulling out all the stops to harm someone who wants better for themselves. I mean, you, my dog chewed this card up, but I think it's so appropriate to the energy. You see how this man is begging on his hands, on his knees, and his hands are up. And somebody is calling out this negative energy. They are in the process of being totally dismantled. Okay. Their pride is about to receive a huge wounding. And that's literally the only reason why they have been able to move through as, oh my God. Okay. Okay. Yep. So this is confirmation here. We have cooperation, as well as the Empress, as well as the Plower. Somebody who has been under the illusion of this distorted magician is finally walking away from that. And it seems like there has to be a form of a separation regardless, like a self-isolation in general, so that they can get back in tune with themselves. And the reason why they want to get back in tune with themselves is because they want to either step into the energy of the Empress, which is I don't chase, I attract, and or because they could also want to match the Empress's energy. So maybe this is an emperor in training, again, back to that, played out playerism type mentality. This is a person who finally wants to step into the emperor energy so that they can be with their Empress. And so they're hoping, now I am getting separation. So they're probably hoping that they can do just enough work to regain the allegiance I'm hearing with the Empress, again, with the cooperation and the Plower. So they're going within and they're trying to assess, okay, I was the problem. They weren't the problem. Empress, emperor, male or female, doesn't matter. Someone is finally recognizing that the problem has been with them. Okay, the grass is green where you water it, not where you go. So you can't just switch lanes or switch yards or switch households and never do the work on yourself, because the common denominator is going to be you. And this person may be physically standing in place, but their energy has been spread thin. And they're finally realizing that no matter how many people they have in their energy, no matter, let's say, how many drinks they have, how, adventurous they go here, they go there, they dibble and they dabble. No matter what they do, there is no other place like home but the Empress. Okay. And the Empress is only a degree, or the Empress and the High Priestess are only a degree away from each other. Okay. So this is evolution. This is, I want to say kingdom spouse, right? This is recognition of your kingdom spouse. But I'm also hearing that this has been a love over lifetimes. So there's something very powerful. I'm not getting all of it right now, but I can sense that there's something very, very powerful about the potential of this union. It could be, power couple status. It could be like, say, for example, in the empath protector dynamic, a super empath and a super protector coming together and creating like global healing, for example. It's all possible. But right now, this is just in someone's dreams. Okay. Ooh, I'm hearing, I see you in my dreams. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I am getting the sense of separation from whomever this is. There's definitely somebody who's trying to keep you away, whether it's you or not. Again, I have over here at the bottom. Wow. And the Tower. The Tower, the 5 of coins, and the 8 of cups, 8 of baskets. So somebody has to walk away from a tower and do the healing, do the work, and their hope is that they can come out of the cold. Now, I will say this with the 6 of coins underneath all of that. If this person who is doing the inner work, finally doing the inner work, if this person waits too long, they're going to lose it completely, right? There's already a lot of complex moving parts, a lot of distractions that have been allowed, a lot of boundaries that have been violated. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if trust has been broken anyway, because with the Seven of Cups, as well as the Three of Cups, well, the Seven of Cups in reverse and then the Three of Cups, this person has been this way for a very long time, and it's probably very scary for them to step into this new sort of settled down energy. This is probably a person who's like, I'm gonna be a player for life. Okay, men and women say that. I'm gonna be a player for life. I'll never give my heart again. And God said, that's cute. Guess what I'm gonna do? Send you your kingdom spouse, and they're gonna shock you into change. And if you don't change, I'm going to take them away from you. I'm going to shake you up. I'm going to spank your butt. And then I'm going to set you back on your feet. And if you don't walk in that direction like I told you to, or like I'm nudging you to, guess what? Spiritual death. Ooh, that's ooh. Whoever this is, I am rooting for you to find your healing and to stabilize yourself. Wow. Resentment in the reverse. Somebody may be fighting in like a physical or verbal altercation, or this just may be like a battle of the minds, like somebody's trying to one up you, and you see it, and you're just not only shocked by who it's coming from, but it's almost like you're shocked that it's happening and it's this person, but at the same time, in that contemplation, in that time away, you're recognizing that they had this in them the whole time. Let's say if you actually read the tea leaves and you saw the warnings from Jump Street, you may have recognized early on, if it wasn't your pride or ego in the way, that this person has been your biggest hater the entire time. Okay. Imagination came out with that, as well as patrimony. Okay. But it came out in the reverse. Resentment in the reverse, patrimony in the reverse, and imagination upright. So somebody's battling. Somebody's truly battling. And they may be losing money because all the signs and synchronicities are leading them away from whatever this toxic situation is. And they're trying their best to stay optimistic, right? Optimism is good and everything, but it can sometimes be not so productive if you stay there in that imagination for too long. And so this person wants to be as realistic as possible. I would say feel the fear and do it anyway. Make your plans, but move forward no matter what, because people are definitely trying to distract you. The Argonaut. Okay, so the Argonaut, you see the crocodile underneath, in Africa is crocodile, in the States or in the Western Hemisphere, it's alligators. This crocodile is ready to destroy this man's stability. They don't give a damn, okay? But what the crocodile doesn't know is that they're armed. They're ready. So what I will say to this, if somebody is trying to, and this goes back to being talked into walking into a trap. If somebody is trying to, let's say, for example, you're trying to get sober or you're trying to be abstinent, and somebody is saying like, hey, we're about to pour up some drinks, meet us here. Or I got this, hot fur with me and she has a friend. I need a wingman, wingwoman, whatever it is. This person is trying their best to set you up for failure, essentially. They don't want you to grow. They don't want you to change. They don't like the idea of you not needing them, because this person is very competitive to a fault. Like, it's a delusional competitiveness. Like, they create competition out of the pettiest things because they're not right in the head, and their soul, their spirit is, for the most part, if it wouldn't be showing up as a crocodile if it wasn't, they are given over to the dark side. Look how murky this water is. It's hidden within them, but it's also very obvious if you have the eyes, if you have the attunement to it. So trust your gut. If somebody's trying to talk you into doing something that you're trying to change, do not go, okay? Tell them no. And they're probably going to get really upset about it, maybe even try to show up at your house and start a fight or whatever. Don't open the door. Because what I'm seeing here is prescription, as well as justice, as well as contrition, okay? Somebody might be calling 12 on somebody. Okay. Somebody might have to call the peoples to come get this crazy person up out of your energy because they're not going to stop. The Justice card here shows me this is all about trying to establish a solid foundation, a healthy foundation, a new foundation. And what's going to happen is this person has been doing too much. They're just doing too much, and it's leading them into basically to be delivered into the hands of prescription in terms of punishment from an authority figure. So I'm seeing here like a judge, like actually having to appear in court and answer to a higher authority, whether that's the Most High, whether that's a literal judge, whether that's, the peoples, the people. Somebody's getting called out in a very formal, inescapable way. Okay. This may also have to do with a job. Somebody may have been caught, maybe lying about their hours, lying about where they actually are, what they're doing, and collecting a check. And they've probably been doing this for so long, and they probably have other people helping them. And this person, and this goat is standing out to me. Somebody tried to scapegoat you or someone you know, or they're being used as a scapegoat. However, whatever it is, whatever is happening, it's putting an end to some very nasty work. Okay? Very nasty work going on. My nose is starting to itch. So I'm going to transition to the oracle cards, and then I'm going to close this out because and historically, if my nose is itching, then somebody's either talking about you or not really liking what you have to say. Okay. All right. Sacred space at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So someone's needing to, again, take some time, meditate, cleanse, work through, and really be honest about where their wounding has come from and how it's showing up in their current life. Because there's a serious need to get it together. Let go, right? Regroup, retreat, regroup, and then come back new. Okay. Wow. Okay. Reunion of souls came out, and it popped out like it meant to. And this card keeps coming out. So I'm definitely just reconfirming that this is a choice between desire, passion, and, here for a fun time, not a long time, versus true commitment and stability. And healing energy also popped out. So this person is working on their healing. Somebody who may be thinking about going to therapy. If they don't want to go to therapy, they're trying to find somebody that they can actually trust with guidance. But honestly, no matter who you go to, the true answers come from within. It's your energy from your energy. That is where the knowing comes from. But when you're so used to shutting out the noise, you may need a mentor or someone that you trust to nudge you to start listening to yourself more. And if that person is truly wise, they will do that. Okay. The answers come from within. Third card out is grounding. So again, this just reconfirms what I was saying in the other cards. Movement into balance, double confirmation. This just means that it's time to clear out the old and bring in the new. Okay, and last two cards, these actually came out in reverse. So I have retreat and I have stripping illusions. Double, triple, quadruple confirmation. It's time to put the old bread away. It's time to shed the skin, the old skin, and grow. It's also time to stop lying to yourself. And it has probably taken this person a really long time, and there has probably been some divine intervention to provoke this to happen, but it's time. If your question is whether or not to take the leap of faith to move into a new direction, your answer is yes, it is time. And what's going to happen is once you let go of whatever has been holding you back, whatever has been stagnating you spiritually, mentally, physically, once you take the brave, bold step to release, you then make room for 10 times more blessings to come in. But the longer you try to hold on to whatever this situation is, it will deplete you. It will. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to end it here. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe. I really do appreciate it if you show some love, some support. I am currently working on the next episode of Life as Ritual, and I'm really excited about that next topic. I'm not going to tell you just yet what it's going to be. Just know you're going to love it. Yes, and continue to grow and show up as I move through what this looks like, how I polish, my readings, my different episodes of Life as Ritual. Sorry, my nose is itching so much, it's starting to bother me. Yeah, I'll end it there. Until next time, hope to see you here again for my next post. Take care of yourself, love on yourself. Remember that true knowing and empathy for our growth and what we are going through comes from within. Your biggest questions come from the little voice from inside yourself. And the more that you listen to that, the more that the truth will be apparent to you, whatever that means for you. Especially if you're feeling really confused about where you want to go and what you want to do in terms of your next steps. So don't delay the growth, the healing any longer. Overall message: delay no longer, step into it. All right. Until next time, love you. Bye-bye.